Hello, and welcome to Adventures with ADHD, where I shine the spotlight on other fabulous neurodivergent folk. And I am so happy today that I've got Kassy Harris with me. So, hi, Kassy. Thank you for coming.
Hi, yeah, thank you for having us.
How are you feeling, Kassy?
It's exciting and nerve-wracking. Never really done anything like this before, so we'll see how it goes.
Brilliant. Well done for coming. Just remember to breathe. It's a conversation so
Yeah.
that we can get to know you. Okay. So I'm going to launch straight in. Cassie, where are you based and what do you do for work?
So I'm based in the northeast of England in South Shields, which is like a lovely little seaside town, which is perfect for me because I absolutely love being in coastal areas by the sea. And I'm a photographer, which is also perfect. So I've got like plenty of scenery to take photos of.
Yeah, amazing. And is that where you take a lot of your photos down at the seaside?
Yeah, I like to go and take photos, like, because the sea's just, there's so many different moods the sea gives. Doesn't matter the weather, there's always just something interesting to see.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's always one of my go-tos. When I've not got people to take photos of, I go to the sea.
Yeah, okay, amazing. I've seen one of your photographs down at the coast and it is stunning. So, you mentioned you take photos of other people. So what's your photography like? Is it always other people or is it a mix?
It's not always other people. I do enjoy portraiture and stuff like that. But obviously, when I don't have access to other people or other people aren't free, I will spend a lot of my time taking seascapes and landscapes and stuff like that, or even my cats because I've got enough cats to pose for us.
Amazing. Okay. And what got you interested into photography?
Oh gosh, this is going to be a long story, so I'll try and keep it as short as possible. But basically, when I was a lot younger, I was home educated, and one of my really good friends, his parents owned still do, the gallery in Newcastle called the Side Gallery, and they largely take, well, they display a lot of documentary photography and also documentary films and stuff like that. And his dad, who unfortunately is no longer here with us anymore, he put on a little like workshop for the other home educated kids on photography, and that's it. Like that is how it started. I was about 14 or 15, and I was so determined to go to college after doing all this. I was 15 at the time, so that was incredibly difficult because you've usually got to be 16 and over to do it.
Yeah.
So me being me and really, really determined, me and my mum contacted every college in the entire Northeast.
Wow.
Will you take us? And funnily enough, the college down the road where I live now was actually the one that took us on.
Amazing. So that was age 15.
Yes, 15. Someone, because of my determination and my portfolio that I had, someone within the local authority granted the funds for us to do it. So that was so amazing.
So is determination one of your key strengths then, Katie?
Yes, if I want something, I do go ahead and get it.
Brilliant, which is perfect for being a working for yourself and
Yeah.
getting out there. Wow, okay. So yeah, what led you to your diagnoses then? You have more than one, don't you?
Yeah, so I've now been diagnosed autistic. That was around 2 years ago in 2021. So it was kind of during lockdown when it happened. And during this time, ADHD was also popping in a lot. And so I saw a diagnosis there, which I only got in November gone.
Right.
But largely the autism one, I've always struggled with social settings, eye contact. I was always getting told off, can you look at us when you're talking to us? Stuff like that. I hated it. It was so uncomfortable. Communication was a big issue with me as well. Especially in relationships, like if there was any conflict, I couldn't talk. I'd go mute. I'd go silent. As much as I wanted to speak inside, like I had the voices trying to get out, I couldn't physically speak.
Right.
And I was starting to realize how this is actually detrimental for me.
Yeah.
You know, like I can't speak in these situations. So it kind of prompted us to really look into it. I've kind of always known about that since I was like a lot younger.
Yeah.
I had this really strange idea that I wasn't bad enough to seek a diagnosis. So I never really pursued it until I was in my 20s.
Yeah.
And obviously, a lot of the damage is kind of done then.
Mm.
But yeah,
Wow.
a lot of that kind of prompted us to get done. The ADHD as well, like a lot of things were coming in there. I had like a lot of hyperfixations. I can jump from one thing to another, lots of things getting missed. Completely, I can't focus on a lot of things unless it's absolutely interesting to me. If I'm not interested in it, I just can't do it.
Yeah.
The interest is really great because it's helped us do the photography and it's helped us do all my creative stuff that I do. So in that respect, it's like it's been so helpful because
Yeah.
I've really got to focus on the things that I love.
Yeah. Yeah. And what was really interesting that you just said, if it's not interesting to me, I can't do it. And I think this is
Yeah.
such an important thing for people to realize. It's not won't, it's can't, isn't
Yeah.
it? If the interest isn't there, you can try, but the brain, for me personally, my brain just won't go there. Is that the
Yeah,
same for
it's
you?
like try as I might, like I will try so hard to like especially when I was at college or uni, like I've dropped out of uni twice because of not being able to keep up, I've not been able to focus on the work and stuff like that. So reading things that I I just can't, it won't come in. Like it
Yeah.
just won't stick. I'm reading the same line about 5 times and I'm like, I'm just I can't do this. Like physically cannot do it.
No, and that's so key for people to realize, because I think some people get a rough time when they're being told they're just not trying hard enough. And it's like you say, you tried really hard and
Yeah.
it still doesn't work. So what impact did growing up with undiagnosed ADHD and autism, did that have on your self-esteem?
Um, it was largely like, why am I like this? Like, I don't understand why this is happening, or I'm taking this too seriously. They're only joking, when really they probably weren't actually joking. But it's that kind of thing. Like, I'll be told, oh, you're taking it to heart, and just gaslit and stuff like that. So then I'm questioning myself. What's wrong with this? Why am I like this?
Yeah,
And especially in relationships where it's like, can't quite understand what needs to be done, or I've got so focused on something that I forgot to do something else, and therefore like issues it's caused.
yeah,
So yeah, it's caused a lot of different issues over the years.
yeah,
I was constantly misunderstanding what the teacher was saying, or constantly misunderstanding what someone else was saying to us,
yeah,
and it's just been a lot of, well, I've not had a lot of faith in myself because I've been taught constantly that I'm misunderstanding everything.
yeah, of course. Yeah. So thank you. What I want to just go back to is, oh yes, when you were thinking about going to be assessed, there were those thoughts of, "Oh, well, I'm not bad enough. Is
Yeah.
it serious enough?" So having come through the other side, what would you say to someone else? Because a lot of people have these doubts when they appear to kind of get by in life. They are still struggling. So what would you say to somebody that said that to you?
So, I've changed my outlook a lot, and it's just been a case of, just because there's always going to be someone worse off than you. It's always going to happen. But you're not living their life, you're living yours, and you absolutely need to listen to yourself. And I wish I'd done that so much younger. Like, yeah, I'm getting by and I'm doing stuff, but I'm still struggling. I
Yeah,
might be able to work a job, but it doesn't mean that I'm not burnt out all the rest of the night. I can't keep on top of my housework because of it,
yeah,
or my mental health's just suffering because I don't know why I can't deal with it like everyone else. So
yeah,
absolutely, if you are, in fact, if you feel like you are something, you probably are, because if you weren't, you wouldn't question it.
exactly. Yeah, couldn't have put it better myself. Um, yeah, 100% is the struggles are real, you know, um, and everyone's struggles are different. Doesn't mean
Of
we
course.
compare them. So absolutely, I think that's really good for people to hear that who are, I spent 5 years researching like mad, thinking, yes, I'm going to do it. No, I'm not, I'm fine. And it's about thriving, isn't it? Not just surviving. Thank you. So what's different now? I know you've come a long way. So what's different now? You know that you are neurodivergent.
So when I got my first diagnosis, I was determined to find other people like me and form friendships and speak to people that who've known longer or are on the same journey, and just having that comfort and thinking, wow, like I've felt so alone all my life, and now there's people like me. Like,
Yeah,
it's so wild to know that there's an entire group of people out there as similar as you are, who probably have felt the same way you do, but now that we're able to now find each other
yeah,
a lot easier, it's been amazing. Like, I've met so many awesome people,
yeah.
and it's just been so lovely to like make new friends who are so similar. It's incredible.
Oh, absolutely. And this is why it's key, isn't it, to find others. Yeah,
Yes, definitely. Like, even for your workplace stuff, like getting that help, that support that you can get,
yeah,
that a lot of people don't know about. You can actually get support to help you within your workplace or within your business, and you can actually now thrive with it.
yeah. And that's the access to work
Yeah,
fund, isn't it?
definitely. It's been such a game changer, and I would recommend anyone get it.
Yeah. How has it helped you?
I've been able to access coaches like yourself, other ADHD coaches for other aspects of what I struggle with, mindset and movement and eating habits, because that's one of the ADHD issues I have, is
Mm.
eating, the dopamine seeking. So it's been a whole lot helpful to know that I'm doing these things for a reason,
Yeah,
instead of beating myself up about it and feeling like a failure because, oh, I've done this, or I'm feeling like this, why do I feel like this? I should be okay,
mm.
you know?
Yeah. The famous should word.
Yes,
Needs to be erased, I think. I think
absolutely.
take it out. And in terms of your business, I know that you've just had a rebrand and a rename. So where are you hoping to go with your business?
So I'm looking to work within the neurodiversity, LGBT community, people within those communities who would feel more comfortable with a photographer like that.
Yeah,
Um, I know I've been speaking to families of neurodivergent children, and they've told us stories about just photographers who've not been able to, I guess, engage with their children.
mm,
So it's not gone well, or the kids have not been able to sit down and sit still and stuff like that. And it's like, it's not about that. You just want the kids to be who they are, you know. Yeah, we're getting a photograph, but they need to be happy and comfortable at the same time.
Yeah.
So talking to people like that and getting a bit of insight into the struggles within getting photos for families has been interesting.
Yeah. And it's really, I know speaking to you before about this, it's really important to you, isn't it, that people feel listened to and comfortable within the photo shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Amazing. Okay. And um, so what are your strengths? You've mentioned a few times how determined you are, which is a common neurodivergent strength, which is
Yeah.
getting you places. What other strengths do you have, Kassy?
I've always been like a really good listener. I've always been able to listen to my friends' problems and problem solve for them, give them advice. Like, yeah, this isn't my life. This is what I'd probably do. This is what I'd suggest. You can do it or not. But if it works, great. And most of the time, they come back feeling a lot better with it.
Oh,
Um, so I'm good with like advice and stuff like that.
yeah.
I'm also really good at seeing things and recreating them.
Oh,
So
like what?
when I was a lot younger, I've always been tall and I've always had a bigger set body, and getting clothes was an absolute nightmare. Awful, especially within women's clothing ranges, sizes. You can go to one shop and you're a size 18, the next shop you're 26, and just
Mm.
plays on the mental health. So I was so determined. I was like, you know what, I'm making my own clothes. So I ended up just like practicing, making my own clothes, and I progressed really, really quickly. And I got to work with a local business a few years ago, making tops for them to sell on within their brand kind of thing.
So fashion designer, clothes maker,
Yes,
photographer.
a bit of
What else?
everything.
What other
Uh,
creative activities do you enjoy?
I like building stuff. So recently, I've wanted to redo my workspace so that it's functional and there's storage. So I kind of just rebuilt some space in my room to
Oh,
do that. I can just kind of look at things and see the pattern and recreate it. So that's really
yeah,
one of my strengths, which is useful also.
yeah, yeah,
um, I'm a really quick learner. If it's something, specifically if it's something that I'm interested in doing, if you
yeah,
can show us what to do, I can do it pretty quickly. It might take a couple of times and a bit of practice, but it usually comes pretty quick.
yeah, yeah. So, I mean, I'm sure there are more, but that's a really
But
nice
yeah,
kind of view to
there's
talk about.
probably more, but that's what I can
Yeah,
think of.
yeah, amazing. Okay, so what? Oh, do you have a kind of funny or humorous story that you can relate back to your ADHD or autism that's got you in a in trouble? But I don't mean trouble, but
I don't know, like funny as such. I've fallen for plenty of things people have said because I'm like, oh wow, really? And they're like, no, I was joking. I'm like, oh, for goodness sake. Sounded
yeah,
really interesting as well. So I've fallen for a few things people have said or done or whatever.
yeah,
Um, a lot of things that aren't particularly funny, but yeah, I
yeah,
can't really think of anything that's funny.
yeah.
They're all
No,
just
I probably shouldn't say funny because then that adds a whole load of like expectation and pressure. But the being gullible is quite well, it's very common with autism, isn't it? Because we kind of believe what people say.
yeah. And
Yeah,
especially if they've got like such a just a normal tone about it. Like
yeah,
I'm really sarcastic myself. I can be super sarcastic, but I can't always tell if other people are being sarcastic unless they're really obvious about it.
yeah. Do you do you have to ask them, are you being sarcastic?
Sometimes I'm like, are you serious? Or how should I take this?
Yeah, yeah. No, it's a tricky one to navigate, definitely. So I know you've got lots of support around you through access to work, and you've done a lot of work on how you think about things. What else helps you with your ADHD and autism?
I think now it's been just the understanding that there is reasons there why I struggle in certain aspects or I react a certain way and things like that. Like having that, ah, it's because of this. It's not like an excuse, it's just a reason, and it's a lot more helpful to be able to know how to then manage it
Yeah,
as opposed to, oh, I've acted like this, I'm this way, I'm in a certain mood, I don't
mm,
know how to feel, so I'm just gonna feel rubbish about it. I
yeah,
can kind of be like, yeah, I'm feeling rubbish about it, I don't like it, but at least I kind of know why. I can somehow bring in my tools that I've been given to work it out.
yeah, yeah. I mean, absolutely. Understanding is the first step, really, isn't it? Find out an awareness what's going on, and then it's like, oh, okay, this is happening because of that.
Mhm.
And then, like you say, employing the tools to help yourself.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, what advice would you give to somebody that's just been diagnosed and is feeling a little lost?
Absolutely find the people like you, have them around you. Obviously, good people. You want people who are supportive and who you can support also. And absolutely give yourself a break because you need it.
Yeah,
To not be so hard on yourself because when you are, it's just a cycle of self-loathing and why aren't I this and why aren't I that?
mm,
At least with that understanding, you can be a bit more right. I'm like this. How can I change it? How can I manage it? How can I work with it? How can I work with my brain instead of against it?
yeah,
Just so important to, I mean, obviously, not a lot of people have the ability to know this, and
no,
it's going to be difficult. But even if you can still use the self acceptance of who you are, it's a lot more helpful instead
absolutely.
of the constant self bullying and loathing and just feeling like that you're absolutely useless.
Mm,
It's a
yeah,
hard place to be.
absolutely. Yeah. Thank you so much. That's going to be so helpful. I mean, the whole interview, there's all the way through it, there's kind of inspiration, and then all these kind of nuggets of tips and advice that is gonna, and thank you so much for sharing so openly. That's what's going to really help others as well. So thanks so much for coming.
You're welcome. Thank you
Been
for having
lovely
us.
chatting to you.
Yes, you too.